Joe, who you upset?
Sweetie, I don't know, man, but I promise you I'm going to get to the bottom of it because I read all my shit is, there you go.
Oh, we got it?
We take.
Got my light on. There we go.
Damn, we had a funny skit. I'm going to be using that a lot, right? So I inked the deal with Puff today to put it on Revolt. And I'm going to be using your little clip a lot when you was like, why? I can see you, you can't see me. And I'm like, because I'm Joe Crack the Dawn.
It gets me every time.
I came up on that one. Saweetie, you looking so beautiful as always. I don't know how you look beautiful in quarantine. Do you bring the glam squad or you know how to do it yourself?
Oh, you know, I've been doing this since middle school, so this ain't nothing new, you feel me?
So you've been glamming yourself since middle school?
I've been cutting my hair, I've been dyeing my hair, I've been doing everything since middle school.
That's important. You know, I learned how to cut my hair, my own hair in quarantine. I never had cut my hair before, but I refuse to look like those guys. You know, dudes was looking crazy out here, like the black Santa Clauses and all that. I was like, nah, I ain't doing that. Nah, I refuse. I woke up one night like a nightmare, nightmare. My shit was woofing a little. I called my man Rich the barber. I said, yo, Rich, I can't take it. Like, what's going on? And he said, yo, I left a clip in your house before. We went on FaceTime. He showed me how to do it. I've been doing it ever since. So welcome to the show, sweetie.
Thank you. You looking real crispy. I'm so happy to be here. And we got good Wi-Fi, get everything.
Yo, let me tell you something. So I've been watching you, sweetie, and you grind. You grind real, real hard. And you the true definition of nobody can stop you. You're gonna go and do what you gotta do by any means.
Thank you.
And a lot of your music is about leveling up. It's about leveling. 8-figure chick. That's my type. That's my type. That shit hard. So, is that really your type, or would you be with a guy if he was broke and he didn't have no money for love?
It really depends. It really, cause you know.
Be honest with me, sweetie. We don't run away from the answers in the fact.
No. So I'm gonna tell you what it is, cause it depends. But fortunately for me, I'm with a rich man with 8 figures. But I do believe, and you know, grinding it out, sticking it out, and seeing if someone can get their hustle on. Because you know, when I was in high school, I wasn't always dating the trappers. You know.
So you was always with the trappers?
I mean, sometimes, but you know, sometimes I would give somebody else a chance because it's nice to be with a hustler. Because if they got hustler's ambition, that's all that matters.
Yeah, you know, my wife took a gamble with me. You know, I wasn't really, at the moment I met her, I had just, you know, I was hustling, getting big money, but then like a movie, I stopped. And I went to rap, and then I said, I'm gonna make it from here because all my friends was going to jail for 10,000 years. So. And when I met her, I was broke. I ain't had no money like that. She took a chance. She believed in me. And she came up ever since.
You know what?
She made the right choice.
And you know what? You know why I believe in making that choice? Because I've been broke before. I've been renting rooms. I've worked odd jobs. So I always believe in seeing the light in somebody. And if they got hustler's ambition, that's priceless.
Now I'm going to be honest with you. When I talk to my goddaughters, I talk to my cousins, I tell them the truth. I say, yo, if you go with a broke dude for love in the projects, just know you're going to be living in this projects the rest of your life. Now I tell them the truth. I believe in leveling up.
Yes, of course.
I believe that you got to play your part, he got to play his part, and he got to be doing better than you somehow because it's got to be a way to come up. I don't believe in, yo, we going to be broke forever shit. I don't believe in
Hell no.
That ain't. That ain't my thing.
Hell to the now, to the now.
That's what I tell, and when I listen to your music, that's what I hear. So now, at what point did you say, how did you meet Quavo? Because you know, you guys are a power couple. You guys are a power couple, especially for this era and what's going on. How did you meet this guy? How did he sweet? Because Saweetie is fucking beautiful. Like, what happened? What does God do to sweep you off your feet for y'all to be the way y'all
are? He slid into my DMs, I must admit. But I gotta tell you, it was different because you know I had a couple of DMs slide my way, but I already had a crush on him.
So you already was like, damn, that's my type.
I think I'm giving it to you hot and fresh, like some New York pizza. Cause I don't think I ever told nobody that. I already had a crush on him.
This is a Joker show. We talk about everything on here. We don't hide nothing. You know, Saweetie, you know what it is. You already had a crush on him. He slid into your DMs. That was another question I had to you, but I'm gonna come back to that. What happens now that the whole world knows Quavo's your man? And somebody else slides into your DM. Do you tell Quavo or you keep it to yourself? I mean, like,
I'm snitching.
You telling them?
I'm
snitching. You know that guy that be saying what's up to
That's the only time I snitch, baby. They know that we together and this is what's up. Hell yeah, I'm yeah. You gotta respect
them know.
Yeah, you gotta respect my man. Respect my man and respect his territory. I'm a part of that territory. We don't play no games. I expect some reciprocation when it comes to that. So yes.
Some women are scared to tell a man because they feel like he can get into some beef. You know, he can get locked up, going to hurt somebody behind that. Because you know, some guys can't handle it like other guys. Do you understand?
I just feel like if you testing him, then you testing me. Obviously, you feel like you feel me, you can. Nah, it don't work that way. I'm loyal to my soil, and baby, this is what's going on.
I respect that. I think that's what you should do. That's what you should do. I've always thought I would have fucked up a lot of guys if my wife told me, like, I don't play that. I'd have been dragging niggas naked out the club, like, in front of everybody, making movies out here. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why some people were scared or whatever the case may be. So you had no fear in coming up in the music game and locking in with a guy, you know, because some people, you know, to put it like this, my daughter used to have the Justin Bieber blanket, the pillow, the pajamas, the posters, this. He came out with his last album, and I was like, yo, Mom, and I'm happy for her because she loved Justin Bieber. I was like, yo, Mom, Justin Bieber came out with the new album. She was like, he's a whole married guy. He's a whole married. I said, what? This is Justin.
Uh-huh.
You know, she was like, he a whole married guy. Like, I mean, me and my girls, we ain't, you know, he taken. How you feel about that, like, publicly having this relationship? Did you think in any way it could damage your music career, you know, being locked in like that?
Since we keep it at 100, you know what I did? So him, we kept it under wraps as long as we could. But you know, everybody is the paparazzi these days. So we go to the club, we go to the restaurant. People got their phones out, and you feel me? Like, we can't grab everybody's phone. So I mean, I feel like it slowly just began to leak out, and at one point we were just like, forget it, because I do admit, as an upcoming female, I was concerned about being overshadowed by my relationship. And that's something that I'm being completely honest about. But it was just like, okay, like, I'm going to keep working hard. I'm going to keep doing what I do because my hard work will eventually overshadow that. So it's like, there's only so much of a secret we can keep because at that point, then we're being inauthentic. We can't be pulling up to the club separately.
No social media. It wasn't no cameras back in the days. You could sneak around and do whatever. You can't do that shit.
What was y'all doing back in the days? That's what I want to know.
There's a lot of shit going on. It was a whole. I don't even remember what happened back in the days. That shit. That's a different type of. Let me ask you something. So I Googled, like, because you know you obviously, you know, you light skinned, you're beautiful. I want to see your parents, and you got some beautiful. Like, your father looked like Carmelo Anthony, and your mother looked like straight beautiful, right?
Thank you.
So your father's black and your mom's Filipino?
She's Filipino and Chinese.
Filipino or Chinese. Did being an interracial baby, did that even come ever come up apart? Maybe when you were around family or anything like that?
It was very difficult because my black side is hella outgoing, and then my Filipino side is hella traditional, strict, quiet unless it's karaoke playing. So it's like I had to learn how to balance the two groups because I felt like on one side I'm too extreme, and the other side I might be too quiet. So it's just like I learned that just by being myself, there was no confliction. So that's why I learned how to just be happy with just being biracial and just owning two parts of my culture.
That's beautiful. You know, I'm Cuban and Puerto Rican, and
Okay, I know that's right.
in New York, I grew up more with my Puerto Rican side of family. But I always
Okay.
identify as Cuban and Puerto Rican, but I ain't gonna lie, it was more like an 80% Puerto Rican, 20% Cuban, because the Cubans, was spread out. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm always proud to say, you know what I'm saying, where my parents come from, and,
Mm-hmm.
and who inspired you? What artists you coming up? And this, I'm gonna tell you this question here, right? Seems to be harder for females than men, because
Uh-huh.
this is the type of shit to start wars and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Because women, for some reason, they and they don't really want to say who inspired them, who paved the way. I see that a lot in rap females. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you the dance floor to say, who are some of the people who opened the door for you?
Well, I'm ready to dance, and I always say, who inspired me. So in high school, I know who y'all love who are tapped in right now. I love LimeWire. When it came to downloading all my songs, I downloaded a whole bunch of Nicki, and I downloaded a whole bunch of Remy Ma. Like their mixtapes was everything to me. And what I love about what I'm doing is like I didn't have no West Coast girl to look up to. All the girls were like East Coast, down south. Shout out to Trina. So it was just kind of like I'm happy that I'm able to represent for the West. But in high school, I love me some Trina, I love me some Nicki, and I love me some Remy Ma.
Wow, that's a beautiful it up like that. You from the Bay Area. So you was one of them crazy girls I would watch on World Star with the hyphy and all that, ghost riding the whip. Was you doing that shit? Like, was you out there? Like, is there
Now,
footage of Saweetie ghost riding the whip?
oh my gosh. So when it comes to, first of all, when it comes to me and my family, like I love doing all that crazy shit. I haven't been able to ghost ride the whip yet because every time I'm about to go, one of my aunties or my uncles drags me out of the car because people really die. But you feel me? Like I'm low key Harley Quinn, so I don't be tripping like that. But it's just like people do. But I would love to ghost ride the whip one day with, all safety hazards, hazarding. So one day I'm gonna do that. But I
Well,
was
the Bay
definitely
Area.
going dumb. If you see my birthday weekend, you see how I get down with my family. It's always a party.
Listen, I saw the birthday weekend and I saw the birthday Birkin. Hey,
Birkin bag. Birkin bag.
yeah. You know, sweetie, every time I look at your Instagram, you're like, boom, pow, boom, boom, boom. Like, was you always like that, outgoing or a shy person?
So when it comes to like other people, other groups, I wouldn't say I'm shy, I'm quiet, but when it comes to my family, I've always been like just rah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that, and I remember when I first heard about. Well, I've heard about you through Chanel, my daughter, everybody they knew you from
Mm-hmm.
before you was even, when you was just coming up. So,
Right. Mm-hmm.
so I knew about you since day one, and but it was interesting how I really learned about you musically was through Gabrielle Union.
Mm-hmm.
So Gabrielle pulled me to the side and she was like, "Yo, there's a girl out here. Her name is Saweetie, and she's my cousin." And I said, "Yo, Gabrielle, like you was just heating up, like you was it, like it was just heat." And I was like, girl's on fire, like she about to be something." She's like, "For real?" She said, "My family keeps." I said, "Yo, she about to be something." Like, you started heating up. Tell me about Gabrielle Union. Did you know her before you was famous? Did you know she was your cousin?
So that's my dad's cousin, and like at family functions when we would have our family reunion, I was like the little girl, and she was like the superstar. So I was always like shy around her. Fast forward, I went to college, kind of lost contact for a little bit, and everybody kept telling me to tell Zaytoven, Gabrielle, anybody who I was related to or knew in the music industry. They told me to let them know, but I have so much pride, so I didn't want to tell nobody. So when she found out I was rapping, she was like, girl, why didn't you tell me? But it was just like I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it on my own.
She was so excited for you. I'm sure she is now. But I'm telling you, behind your back, she was talking to me like, yo, Joe. And my cousin, she about to do her thing. And I was like, I know her. Like, I was like, I literally know her. She's fire. She's this.
Oh,
and that was that was a beautiful thing. And it's, you know, you got Gabrielle in the family. And now you. This is a pretty impactful family. Like, you know, like it's hard to have two superstars in one family. That's a big
I feel
deal.
like, but I kind of feel like we like sports. You know, like a lot of people in my family are successful, and you see that in a lot of sports families. You see a lot of brothers go to the league, to the NBA, to the NFL. So I just kind of feel like, you know, we all have our own journey to success, and we all like do it on our own. And when everybody can see it, we're all just super proud of each other.
Let me tell you that song "Icy Girl." That's one of my favorites that you have, and so you sample Kia, the girl Kia.
I mean, I didn't really sample it. I took the whole beat, so I don't know what that's called.
Well, it's called a flip. The nice way to say it's a flip. You flip the beat, and did you ever talk to her, have any interactions with her, or the lawyers just handled that and that was that?
The lawyers just handled it. I haven't got a chance to speak to her yet, but the lawyers handled it. It was cleared, and then Icy Girl came out officially through DSPs.
She's definitely bugged out. Like, but you ain't got to comment, but she's bugged out. Like, you know, like she's bugged out. I did a couple of shows with her back in the days, and her music was so ratchet. And when we was just being guys in the hallway talking shit, she would come out and be like, yo, I'm calling the cops. She'd be like, yo, I'm calling the cops and your motherfuckers don't get in your rooms and shut up. It's like she was bugged out. She was a strict one. And but I like that song a lot, the Icy Girl. That was an amazing flip.
Thank you.
Quarantine, what is quarantine like for you? Like, what you been going through in quarantine?
I've been cooking a lot. So that's like my quarantine. And then, you know, I had my big old celebration with my family, Memorial Day, and for my birthday. So I just been cooking. My album's pretty much done. So I just been, you know, thinking of treatments, because I do all my treatments, and just kind of been planning this Icy Girl takeover.
Oh, so when you been recording in your house, you got a little studio in your house?
Yeah, it's called the Pretty Box.
It's called a Pretty Box?
Yep.
So you get in there and do your thing in that Pretty Box?
Yep, and I make pretty bitch music.
Yo, that's crazy. I'm the only rapper with no studio in my house.
Why?
Man, I played myself. I ain't know, because I always like going to. So for me, the studio is work/hangout. So when I get in the studio, say I go to the studios 8 o'clock at night, we talk shit to 11. Like just, yo, LeBron, this one, that. We just talking shit for 3 hours, and then we start cooking, right? So my thing was like, if I bring the studio in the house, it'll take away that fun time with me and my guys. You know what I'm saying? But it's a big mistake, because during quarantine, I haven't been able to record nothing.
Okay, separate pleasure from work. Okay, I feel like it makes me a little bit more comfortable, because I'm able to like think of something and then run to the studio and then record it.
No, it makes too much sense. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You've been seeing everything that's going on with Black Lives Matter and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. And so what's your sentiments on everything that's going on in America right now?
Well, my sentiment for what's going on in America, first of all, so I've been seeing this a lot, because a lot of people have been asking me the same question, and they make me, answer these questions about how do I feel about my peers who aren't, using their platforms and who aren't informing. But I feel like people need to be educated. And then once they're educated, they would then want to take action. And when I first made my first statement, I called my grandma. My grandma's my best friend. She's been an activist and she was like 18 years old. So I always call her to fact check, get my news, and then I educate. So I think it's important to, instead of, trying to reprimand the people who aren't informing, try to educate them. Because if you have a heart and you're educated on what's been going on, you're going to want to make a difference.
Oh, that's a fact. And I learned so much sitting in the house. And I thought I knew. Like, I've been marching since I was 19, 20 years old with Reverend Allen, New York, for police brutality. But I learned more in these last, let's just say, month than I ever knew my whole life. You know what I mean? About racial, systemic racism. And then everything starts to make sense. So when I start educating myself, I'm like, yo, this makes sense. Like, I just thought it was just hard for everybody, and then you got to do it. But I didn't realize that it's really set up to be extra hard for us. Definitely. You know what I mean? Almost impossible.
No, and it's just like, none of these things are new, but I'm very grateful for phones and social media, because America is having a big wake-up call because these videos are going viral. Imagine if we didn't have technology. This stuff, like, my dad has been through this. I've been in the passenger seat where my dad has been racially profiled by police officers. It's been happening. It's not nothing new. I'm just happy that people beyond the Black community are starting to take aggressive action to make sure that we get some type of progression in America, because it's unacceptable.
You're right. That's beautiful. You know, sweetie, when I look at you, I look you come up, I see everything you do. I say to myself, I think Sweetie can become an actress, like a real, like, have you ever given thought to acting?
I'm in 3 seasons. I wish seasons, 3 episodes in Grownish. So I co-starred with Yara. Shout out to her. She's beautiful, intelligent, smart. So I have 3 episodes under my belt.
You started acting?
I did. And I've been auditioning for some big movie roles. So hopefully, I get one of them.
You should stick to it, because I see that. If there's a vision that I have of you, it's like, yo, I see Sweetie in movies and TV, stuff like that. So that's that. I see that. Before I let you go.
Wait, hold on. Before I let you go, I got some questions to ask you too. Joe Crack the Don.
Nah, you got caught out there with the Joe Crack the Don. That's gonna be forever. That's a commercial. That's a spoof.
No, but for real, because you are definitely one of the greats. You were one of the soundtracks to my childhood, even into preteen, even now. So how do you feel about the evolution of the hip hop game? Because you was out there creating hits, dope, like, music videos that I watched over and over again on MTV, BET, et cetera, et cetera. How do you feel about the evolution of hip hop? I need to know that, because, I'm curious.
I'm like Saweetie, where I'm extra. So, like, Fat Joe, when I had my big moment, my first big hit was called We Duggin', and I dove into the pool with the mink on. And we ain't just have Cristal. We had, like, the water fountains with the Cristal. So I've been a show off my whole life. I've been like, I love to just show off. Like, I like to hurt the game. I don't know what to tell you.
As you should.
I like to punish these dudes, man. And it's crazy. I seen this comedy thing with Netflix, and George Lopez, the Mexican, he said, yo, Spanish people, we just want to outlive our haters. And that shit is true as hell. So I've been punishing these guys for so long, Sweetie. I've been punishing them. I won't stop. You see me, I won't stop. I'm keep giving it to them. These guys ain't got no teeth, Sweetie. I got teeth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, with the music, I've always felt like I never got my props. As weird as it sounds to you. So
Okay.
that's what keeps pushing me to keep making music or make hits or change the game. I've never felt like Fat Joe got his just due. And
Okay.
and I've been chasing that my whole life.
Okay, so what would it look like if you got your flowers right now? What would that look like to you?
What would it look like to me?
Yeah,
It
I
would
need
look
to
like
know.
at least 100 million in the bank, and
Okay.
and the fact that everybody will finally, like, because I say, we keeping it positive, but I say, the day Fat Joe died, that's unfortunately, that's when the world's gonna realize the greatness, because they're gonna be like, oh shit, we had a real one. We had a real one.
Exactly.
And it's not just the music, his hits. This guy, he's for the people. He opens businesses in the hood. All that shit. They're gonna take a look at it once I'm gone and be like, damn, we ain't know we had the realest one here. And
So I
yeah.
So wait, so I didn't want to say that part because I wouldn't even want to put your name in that sentence together. But I say that because, like I said, you was the soundtrack to my childhood. You put out hits. You made some of the greatest collaborations. So whoever is watching, if you can give this man his flowers, give it to him while he's alive. Because I absolutely hate when someone dies and then they want to start, parading the accomplishments. We've seen that happen with Nipsey Hussle. So I'm just, I just feel like it's an honor to talk to you right now. You was in my iPod, my TV, my mama and my daddy was slapping your music. So it's just like, give the man his flowers while he's alive.
I
Okay?
love that about you, sweetie. You're a real one. I shout out to Timberland. He told me y'all got something together. Timbo the King told me y'all got something together, because I was talking to, he's one of my best friends. I was talking to him and I was like, yo, you got to work with Sweetie. He was like, yo, bro, we already cooked up. Like, you late. Hey, y'all see it?
We been
Sweetie,
cooking.
forget Fat Joe right now. Let me know who's your top 5 greatest rappers of all time. They don't have to be in order. I just need 5.
5? Oh my gosh. So when it comes to this, so it's like, okay, so I was having a conversation with somebody. Do we include the greats who are just supposed to be listed, or do we go into
Well,
like this new
whoever's
era?
your top 5, or you think, yo, this is the greatest top 5. It don't gotta be, yo, I gotta say Biggie and Tupac, even though they will be in my. Who influenced you? Who did you have the biggest moments that you say, yo, these are my top 5? It don't have to be like, don't be political about it.
Okay, so off the top of my head, and I'm gonna tell you why, just so that it's not a dry ass answer. So, one, Mac Dre, because I like how witty, how quirky he was, and I feel like when you listen to him, you understand what Bay music is like. Like we may not have all the punchlines, but we be saying some pimp shit, like some fly, okay, some caption shit. You feel me?
I got that.
I must say, I love Jay-Z. I can listen to Jay-Z all day. In my life, Volume 1, Blueprint, I love all that. And I like how he was able to make club records, but then real deep and thoughtful records. Okay, you from the East Coast, so you can feel me on this one. But Lil' Kim, like when she performs, she it does something to my body. Like, and she's so tiny. When I met her, I was like, I thought she would have been like 6 feet. You feel me? Like, her energy is just infectious, and it's just like
she's bigger than life. She's bigger than life.
She's bigger than life, and it's cancer, gang, 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 gang. You feel me?
Let me tell you something. Lil' Kim, I'm different. You know what I'm saying? I'm a different guy. I honor the code all the way until I die. I honor the code, right?
Right.
And when she was coming up, that was Biggie's girl. So I possibly have never seen Biggie but a couple of times without Lil' Kim. So when he passed away, I still had to treat her like she's Biggie's girl.
Right.
And I seen people like, and that's fake and whack to me. So I always, whenever I see Lil' Kim, I always look at her, like Biggie's girl, like, Junior Mafia, the Queen Bee. And I got really, I don't know if I should even put you in this conversation, but I got in a little trouble with, let's say, Nicki, because one day they asked me on Breakfast Club about Little Kim, and I was like, yo, she definitely had to influence Nicki Minaj. And Nicki, for life, hated that statement that Fat Joe said.
Okay.
But, you know, that's that shit with girls. Let's go on to the next one. You said 3.
Okay.
You said Mac Dre, Jay-Z, Lil Kim.
I'm from the West Coast, so I gotta say Tupac, because, you know, my mama had me when she was young, and she's a real hustler, and my dad is too. And they never showed me no pain, but I know when they would play certain Tupac songs, they was trying to get through a bad day. So it was like, when you can give music that's more than just turn up music, but it's therapy for the body and the soul and the mind, I feel like that's a different type of artist. So definitely Tupac. You putting me on the spot. I feel like there's so many greats. Okay, I'm gonna just say it like this, because he came out with all them mixtapes. I wrote my first rap to a Millie, Lil Wayne, for my 5th. Boom.
Wow. I love your top 5. Lil Wayne is one of the most beautiful people on the planet Earth. People don't understand him. You know, the man been a superstar since he was 12 years old. But he's definitely one of the greatest of all time. He opened the door for, even to me, people got upset with me when I said, you know, Wayne influenced Lil Uzi and just that whole genre. And I didn't mean it disrespectfully. I just meant like Lil Wayne is like a fucking blueprint. He's like, you know, he paved the way for this generation. So I agree with you on everything.
But and just one more thing, because I was very grateful when I was able to do a song with him. I have a song with Kid Ink and Lil Wayne called You. So when we came to set, he treated everyone around him like they was a superstar. I was like, wow. He was so humble and just so nice. I'm like, wow, that's so refreshing, because you know when you be like meeting other people and other people be on there, you feel me? I be like, okay, sis. But
no,
with him,
I hate that. Sweetie.
Yeah, with him, I was like,
I hate people who think, first of all, most of us grew up poor. First of all, we got blessed by God to have a talent.
Definitely.
Third of all, we ain't God. So when I see these niggas acting like they something extra or that's trash. And it happened to me one time. I learned this long time ago. I was hanging out with, and I'm gonna say who they are, and this is probably one of my best friends in hip hop. It was Raekwon from Wu-Tang. This is when we was young, upcoming. It was Raekwon and it was Nas. And we hung out all day. We was riding around Harlem, the Bronx, all over. Then we went to this club called The Tunnel that night. And we seen the new rapper. We was playing that dude's album all day. 100 times we was in the car. And we seen him, and my brothers almost tried to act like they didn't know who he was. I forget who it was, but I went up to him. I was like, yo, I've been bumping your album all day, and so was Nas and Raekwon. They was bumping your shit all day in the car with me, and your album is incredible. I never like to act like that. Like, I've been giving flowers. Even when somebody's young, upcoming, whatever, if I think you really, really dope, I'm going to tell you, you really, really dope.
Oh, thank you.
All right? So, thank you, sweetie. And let me tell you something. You showed patience. You showed humbleness. I don't invent the IG. I don't own the IG. So they was trying to fuck with me. They try to do it again today. Like if they would have did it again today, I would have had to call the boss. I would have had to protest. Like, what's going on? But we love you, sweetie. Continue to do your thing, and I'm gonna see you throughout your whole career and see nothing but greatness. Okay?
And I thank you for, you feel me, giving me, my flowers while I'm young. I hope that you get the flowers you deserve, and that, people ain't waiting until, you 6 feet under. So I appreciate you taking the time to just talk to me and give me wisdom and advice, because I appreciate that too. And tell Swiss I want that beat.
I'll tell Swiss tonight. Right after this, I'm going to call him, all right?
All right.
Bye-bye, sweetie.
Bye.
Saweetie.